of members of the National Assembly as well as PACTEC that they really are interested in learning. And I think this is a good contributions towards their understanding of their assignment.
It is the end of a 4-day retreat for lawmakers and their sector partners here in Albreda North Bank region. Here delegates have unanimously adopted the proposed schedule for the 2013 parliamentary sittings. A number of presentations have also been made by the Office of the National Audit, the Gambia Public Procurement Authority, and the Ministry of Finance. Also views of subject matter specialists were heard, which eventually created a thought-provoking environment. As we draw curtains for this annual event, members or delegates have once again committed themselves to working harder in the discharge of their public functions over public enterprises and agencies. Reporting from Albreda, North Bank region, I am Samuel Ba.
A 4-seater Toyota vehicle carrying 3 passengers recently crashed into the stagnated water under the Kotusilo Bridge. The incident, as we hear in this report by Abdullah Baji, happened during the early hours of Sunday.
Carrying 3 passengers on board recently crashed into the stagnated waters under the Kotusilo Bridge. The car, which was reportedly heading to Manjaikunda, hit the bridge presently under construction and slapped underneath, leaving only the driver injured.
Okay, we were informed in the early hours of today that a vehicle somersaulted inside here at Kotu Bridge. So we delegated our personnel there to go and visit the scene. On their arrival, they found that the passengers on board together with the drivers, their lives were safe. Nothing happened to them. They were treated and discharged, taken to hospital, treated and discharged. They are presently in police custody.
It is still unclear as to what caused the car wreck, as police engaged preliminary probes on the scene to get to the bottom of the accident with help of eyewitness accounts. The passengers who got involved in this mysterious accident were confirmed safe after being examined at the hospital and were later taken to police custody for onward scrutiny.
We were called this morning that this accident happened at the Kotusilo Bridge. It happened very early in the morning, about 5 a.m. And we all thank God that all the passengers, I think there were 3 in number, and the driver was a lady, that all of them are okay. There are no injuries. But as you can see, the car is in the ditch. So what we are trying to do right now is to get a crane so that we can get the car out. The police are doing their investigations as to what actually caused this accident. And for us also, another cause of concern, as you know, this bridge has just been repaired. We are trying to see if the structure has been damaged or not, so that we can further repair the bridge.
The car wreck happened at a time when personnel of the National Roads Authority were busy constructing the bridge recently crossed by heavy rains. NRA officials on the ground cross-checked the effects of the accident at the bridge.
This can happen to anyone. What I've just been looking at is to make sure that the structure of the bridge is not affected by what has just happened here. But thank God, I think it's okay for now. All I would want to say here is to warn drivers to be mindful of the bridge. It's a bit tight. The corners are awkward on the approaches of the bridge. So once they approach this section of the road towards the bridge, I think they should slow down to make sure that they cross over the bridge safely.
The car will be later towed by police while the driver helps ongoing investigations. He could face the full force of the law if found wanting. Abdullah Baji, Grts.
The Ministry of Health and Social Welfare, in collaboration with UNICEF and KMC, recently conducted a pre-orientation meeting with all Alkalolu ward councillors, women mobilizers and youth mobilizers ahead of the upcoming second round of polio campaign slated for the 25th to 28th October 2013. We have details in this report by Abdullah Baji again.
Polio is a disease caused by a germ which kills or cripples mainly children under 5 years. It can be easily transmitted by drinking contaminated food or water polluted with feces of an infected person. Signs and symptoms are chiefly fever, which quickly develops into weakness affecting the limbs. This can paralyze a person for life. The National Immunization Days are intended to supplement routine immunization programs, making sure that children are vaccinated even if they had completed their routine vaccination schedule. Jim Jallo, the program manager, Health Communication, decried the staggering rate of children affected with polio over the past years and used the opportunity to urge parents to vaccinate their children on the 25th to the 28th of October 2013.
Irrespective of their immunization status, they'll be given 2 or 3 drops of polio. This is aimed at eliminating or eradicating polio from the Gambia. And the strategy that we are using is the usual strategy. That is, trained vaccinators will move from house to house to meet those children to give them polio drops.
This year, it is estimated that 401,299 children will be vaccinated during the National Immunization Days within the country. UNICEF Communication Officer Pa Usman Mane is optimistic that this year's campaign period will be successful.
So in terms of UNICEF, these are the 2 main areas that we support. Social mobilization and of course the provision of vaccines. Then you have WHO to do the implementation.
The main aim of this orientation gathering is to give first-hand information to household heads, caregivers and parents on the importance of polio campaign dates for the implementation of strategies in the upcoming operation in order to increase community participation. Abdullah Baji, Grts.
The siege at an elite shopping mall in Kenya is far from over. Find out what else is making headline news around the world right after the break. Welcome back. Polls have closed in Germany's parliamentary elections, where Chancellor Angela Merkel is seeking a 3rd term as leader of Europe's strongest economy. She hopes voters will give the Christian Democrats and their coalition partners a majority in the Bundestag. CNN's Frederick Playton is outside Chancellor Angela Merkel's party headquarters and earlier spoke to Fiona Laswini.
No, that certainly is the big question here. And we're actually inside Angela Merkel's party headquarters at the Christian Democratic Union with our election set here. As you can see, there's a lot of other media here, as well as everyone's looking forward to this very big election. The polls will close in exactly an hour and 52 minutes from now, so the Germans still have some time to actually head to the polls. As of 8 a.m. Eastern time, that was 2 p.m. German time, the voter turnout was a little over 40%, which is actually a little bit better than in the last election in 2009, when at this point in time it was only about 36%. So there are a lot of people who are going to the polls. In part, the reason for that is that the weather is actually pretty good, but in part it's also because Germans are actually quite interested in the election that is happening. And as you said, it seems as though Angela Merkel will win. Her union of Christian Democrats and Christian Social Union will garner the majority of the votes. But the big question is, will her coalition between her party and the Liberal Democrats, the FDP, still hold? The FDP, of course, very much in danger of not making the 5% needed to enter into German parliament. And then there is that big wild card, the Alternative for Germany, which is the anti-Euro party, and some believe that party could make it into parliament, and that would indeed spell the end of the current coalition headed by Angela Merkel between her and the Liberal Democrats. And then what you would probably see is a grand coalition between her and the Social Democrats. Of course, as you said, her main rival is Per Steinbrück, who's way behind in the polls, but indeed he does believe that he might have a chance to take over the chancellorship if indeed the smaller parties don't go the way that Angela Merkel needs them to go. Finola?
10 gunmen are believed to be holed up in a shopping mall in the Kenyan capital, Nairobi, after they stormed the building, firing indiscriminately at shoppers and security guards. The raid killed over 50 people and injured many others. The Somali militant group Al-Shabaab claimed responsibility. Also in Pakistan, a suicide bomb attack at a church in the city of Peshawar has killed more than 70 people. 2 suicide bombers are believed to have detonated their explosive vests as worshippers left the church following a mass. We have more of these and other stories in this DWTV roundup.
A In Kenya, more shooting has been heard from a shopping mall where an estimated 10 gunmen are holed up with an unknown number of hostages. The gunmen have already killed at least 59 people and wounded 175. Witnesses said the masked attackers fired machine guns and threw hand grenades at shoppers, and that they told all Muslims to leave the building before they opened fire. The Somalia-based Al-Shabaab militia has claimed responsibility, saying the attack was in retaliation for Kenya's involvement